Hello trainers, Ganeto here, and today we're gonna dive together into Great League's Remix with my 5 team recommendations. I'm gonna showcase here teams that not only are gonna help you with this start of the season, but also will be pretty meta relevant, and we're gonna check their core breakers, their weaknesses, and let's see together the first one because it is ongoing already on this Great League Remix format with Mandibuzz, Whiskas, and Vigoroth. I was using this line before in the previous season with decent success on the Great League Remix, and to be honest, I really like its synergy. You can have a lot of good matchups with this line. Mandibuzz is a pretty neutral lead, although I prefer running it with Snarl over Airslash. You can see here that I have Airslash overall, but Snarl will get you there to the moves much faster, and against Shadow Zapdos, which is gonna be a meta relevant Pokemon, and a lot of trainers build it up on that Catch Cup format, you're gonna go even more neutral than you should. So yeah, Snarl is a better charge attack, I believe, for Mandibuzz for the Remix Cup. Having now access to a Whiskas will give you tons of coverage on the closing part, especially with Blizzard, while Mud Bomb is gonna help you against those steel types like the Steelix that we have already said, and of course Blizzard against all those new flyers that come in the meta like Mantin, like Noctowl, like Pidgeot. All those Pokemon are gonna be pretty much meta relevant, so that with the Blizzard you can definitely nuke them down with massive damage, more than 90%, which is crazy. At the back we also have Vigoroth, which will be a nice fit into this line, with its normal typing being pretty neutral against the enemy. Counter a Body Slam will be your main way to go, and if you want to unlock a second move, well, Bulldoze will be the best second charge attack that you can have, so that you can have more coverage against those steel types, and Vigoroth will be one of the best safe switches on the entire game, and it is no wonder as to why you're gonna sit here on the Remix as well. Core breaker of this line is gonna be Tapu Fini because its fairy typing will help a lot against Mandibuzz. It is part water, which means that it can resist those blizzards from Whiskas and go pretty neutral against it, and of course the fairy typing will also help against that counter move that Vigoroth can have. So you can see that Tapu Fini might be a counter, but kinda soft, so I would not be that much worried about this Pokemon. Shadow Steelix is one of the best when we're talking about steel types on Remix Cup, and there is a reason for that. Recently it has given the move Psychic Fangs, and with Dragon Tail you can do a lot more damage than usual. Of course you can always use it as a Shadow, but as PvPoke says, it doesn't matter at all. Even the regular can work pretty much as effectively, so feel free to not use a Shadow one, just go with the regular one, and you're still gonna do a lot of work against the enemy, and your bulk will remain the same, while with Shadow you might be a little bit overwhelmed by the low bulk that Steelix might have. However, the offensive side, with Psychic Fangs and Dragon Tail, will get there in no time, and of course as a second charge attack it's up to you. I like to run Earthquake for some really nice nukes, but Crunch can always help against those ghost types. At the back we got Machamp, a pretty straightforward Machamp that is gonna go straight ahead with those counters, punch its way to victory, and of course Rock Slide for coverage against the flyers, and of course Pelipper, which is gonna be a spammy option, and now with a new wing attack you're gonna be able to do a lot of severe work against the enemy. Core breaker of this line is gonna be Stunfisk on its Unova form, since Galarian is not allowed, and Stunfisk will be able to get there to back moves pretty nicely, and of course a Discharge can absolutely destroy down the Pelipper. The Mud Bombs can farm down those steel types, especially the Steelix, so you can see as to why Stunfisk can be a core breaker for this line. Also, I did not mention that it is super bulky, so that it can withstand the damage even from a Shadow Machamp, meaning that you're gonna be on a pretty bad situation if you face a Pokemon like this. But hopefully after my first battles over here on the new season, I did not found a lot of those Stunfisks on the Unova form, so I would not be that much worried. You can still deal with it with a little bit of synergy if you manage to get across one. Moving forward, and we're met up with one of the weirdest teams that you can use for Remix with a lot of success, because we're having a Ferrothorn up on the lead, a Frostless at the back, and Mantine as a safe switch. Well trainers, this team doesn't perform well on PvPoke, but I will not lie to you, it is magnificent. It has a lot of coverage, it can struggle down the meta, your opponent will get a lot of problems, but you're gonna see here that even against an Obstagoon up on the lead, which is gonna be the core breaker of this line, being super effective against that Ferrothorn, and of of course the ghost typing will get destroyed down by the dark typing of Obstagoon, you're gonna see that still you have a win con because this team applies a lot of pressure to the enemy. I really like the new wing attack version of Mantine. It can get there to the moves a little bit faster and of course will give you a better fast attack to get there. So yeah, Ferrothorn, amazing Pokemon. I really like it upon the lead. I consider using Flash Cannon over Thunder because you're gonna need it a lot against certain threats, especially something like a Frostless can get one-shotted down by a pure Flash Cannon. At the back we got a Frostless of our own, the ultimate closer of anything in Go Battle League, in Great League at least. So yeah, it makes no wonder as to why you're gonna use it here as a closer. And of course we have already said that Mantine is a pretty cool safe switch, especially with that Bubble Beam. Obstagoon can be a troublemaker, but as you can see here, we can still manage to bring it to no HP with a little bit of synergy. Moving into the next one, and we're having a Jellicent, a Guzzlord, and a Noctowl entering a bar. This is a bad one, doesn't matter at all. We're gonna have a Jellicent upon the lead, which is a very underrated Pokemon. PvPoke ranks this Pokemon around 100 rank, and I was pretty weird at that moment because what is happening here? Jellicent is an amazing Pokemon. I can see it work here, especially with all those flyers, and because it has access to Ice Beam, it is pretty thick, it can take the hits, and in return it can hold down those fighters with ease, especially that Whiskas, which is gonna be the best Mad Boy that you can use for the remix since Swampert is out of the way. So I decided to give it a shot, and guess what? It worked because Jellicent is having an amazing lead scenario pretty much against anything, going pretty neutral against the meta. Even against the Steelix you can still go with the Shadow Ball, against the Guzzlord you can still go with the Ice Beam, and yeah, this moveset is gonna be amazing. You do not need Bubble Beam, just go with the nukes, you are not gonna regret it. At the back we got Guzzlord, which is gonna be an amazing beast, an ultra beast, able to deliver hard hitting moves, and in return can take some moves, which is gonna be pretty neat, so that you do not spend any shield on this Pokemon, or you can use it as a closer as I do over here, and keep the shields for this one and wall down the last Pokemon that your opponent might have. At the back we also have Noctowl, which is gonna serve as a safe switch, and you are seeing that with the new wing attack, Noctowl can get there to the moves pretty much faster, and you're gonna deliver hard hitting pressure with your Noctowl on the safe switch option, so that you are not gonna have any weakness at all. Even against a steel type, those double Shadow Balls are gonna help you a lot, and you can get there pretty much on a very good pace. So yeah, Noctowl an amazing safe switch in total for Great League and Hero Remix as well. Core breaker of this line is gonna be Galvantula, but guess what, trainers, we are already facing Galvantula here and we can still manage to pull through. Yeah, Galvantula is gonna help a lot against that water typing of our Jellicent, against the flyer of the Noctowl, but it can get kinda walled down by that Guzzlord having a pretty neutral matchup, but those lunges are still hurting. Final one, trainers, and we are having a Dugong up on the lead, followed up by Tropius and Quagsire. This line is looking pretty thick, and yeah, it is, for sure it is. Dugong, what I like about this Pokemon is that in an even shield scenario, it can even pull through a whole Vigoroth if you can block the first one, because Icy Winds are gonna debuff it so much that it cannot even destroy you down. So Dugong, an amazing lead overall, and with Water Pulse you get some really nice coverage against certain threats, something like a Shadow Steelix, so that you can have the upper hand towards that battle. At the back we got Tropius, which is gonna be another amazing Pokemon to use, pretty bulky as well, and will help you much better against those water types, and of course against other grass types because of its flying type. The standard moveset will work for it. Just go with Air Slash, Leaf Blade, and Aerial Ace. Not gonna go with Razor Leaf here. I think that the standard moveset will help even more. Safe switch of this line is gonna be Quagsire. I'm using here a Shadow one. Don't do it. Just go with the regular one. Quagsire on its regular form is gonna perform much better because anyway you're gonna use those nukes, and yeah, you're gonna nuke your victory down pretty easily. But with the Shadow, you're still gonna do the same job but with less defense, and it doesn't matter at all. The nuke is a nuke even when it comes from a Shadow or a regular, so just go with a regular. You are not gonna lose that defense that you're gonna need for sure. Core breaker of this line is gonna be Lapras. because Lapras is having access to Skull Bass and can have a much better matchup against that Dugong. Has a very good matchup with those Ice Shards against Tropius, and it cannot hold down Quagsire, but goes pretty even though Quagsire can have the move Stone Edge, which is kinda weird, I know, but still Lapras can deliver a lot of work against this line, and with Walrein out of the way, it makes a lot of sense that some people are gonna go to the Lapras, perhaps as a safe lead or a safe switch option. So yeah, if you do not want to get destroyed down by Lapras, well, don't use this team, but otherwise I think you're gonna be on a very good spot against anything else. That's all, trainers. Thank you for watching, thank you for staying till the end. Just be sure to leave a huge like before you go, subscribe to the channel if you already haven't, and if you want to support me even more, you can always join as a member like those people did, and you can help me much more with my channel. Be sure to check out the next video over here, and I hope to see you all into the next one. Take care, trainers.